She's screaming at me, telling me that I stole her boyfriend. She's like, you stole my man, you bitch, you stole my man. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm trying to stay super consistent with posting. It's been hard because I've been doing so much, but I'm back and I have a story time for you guys. But before I start my story time, can I just give a shout out to all the vloggers out there who spend time on doing their makeup and hair like so perfectly every time they film, because I can't do it. I don't have the patience. I don't have the time. I don't have, well, I do have the time. I'm lying. I literally have all the time in the world right now. Like, I'm not doing anything today, but I don't have like the skill or the patience, I guess. But I think they're like actually makeup artists, which makes sense, and I'm far from it. So shout out to you guys who actually are really good at makeup and hair, because I have the same hair every damn time. So I want to do a story time. I posted on my Instagram and my Twitter and asked you guys what you want me to talk about, because obviously I'm here for you. And the thing that won on my Twitter poll between a few different things I was gonna film was story time about how I got punched in the face. I've been meaning to record this one for a while, but I kept getting sidetracked with other things I wanted to film, so I'm finally doing it. Yes, true story, I did get punched, and it was like 4 times in a row. I'm not a fighter by nature. I hate violence. I stay away from violence. I'm not the kind of person that would go up to a fight and be like, world star, with my phone, because I'd actually be terrified to be anywhere near a fight because I don't want to get hit by accident. Like, that's how scared I am of fights. Like, I don't even want to be around it. If my best friends were fighting, no offense to them, like, I'd probably just stand back and like move, because I just don't want anyone to hurt me, right? I'm super fragile. If you guys don't know me in person or know me well enough on the internet, I'm a very fragile person. Like, everything always happens to me. I'd be surprised if something can fall on my head right now during this video, because something always happens to me, so the last thing I want to do is do something violent on purpose. So I'm just gonna start it off with that. This all happened when I was in college. I'm almost 29 now, which is kind of scary. So I graduated from college at 21. So almost 8 years ago, I graduated from college. Damn, I'm old. Damn, I'm waiting for the white hair and wrinkles to come in, but I'm good for now. Actually, super short sidetrack. If you refer to my last video, I'm actually gonna post the links when one of these corners, I don't know which one it's gonna show up on, but I got Botox injections for my migraines, and I mean, it still is Botox, like, it's still doing what Botox does. They did inject a lot into the back of my head, but they also injected it into my forehead for the headaches, and it like legit prevents my eyebrows from moving up as much as they used to. Like, I can still do it a little, like that movement, but I used to move my eyebrows way up here, and I had one wrinkle, just like one line that would go right there if I did it, but it's not happening anymore. So the Botox actually worked for that, which is hilarious because that's not why I got the Botox, but super sidetrack. I did have a wrinkle and I don't have it anymore. Anyways, so back in college, so I'm at this college party, like, right? Going out with all my friends. It's not on campus. I went to San Francisco State University, so the party isn't like on campus, but it's at one of the apartments where a lot of the students live. I didn't live in the apartments, I lived at home, but there were a bunch of apartments like around the campus that students rented out. So a lot of the parties were there versus on campus, because on campus you can't really be loud and then whatever, noise complaints, so people would do it at these other apartments like nearby. So one Friday, Saturday, whatever, I'm out with my friends and I bring like a whole squad, right? So this is like, I bring all my high school friends that I'm still like hanging out with when I'm in college. So there's almost 10 of us, like between 6 and 10 people that I had brought to this party, and they're like my closest friends, like people I always hang out with, and some of them went to SF State, some of them didn't, but so we go to this thing. I mean, I don't remember too much from the party. It was a regular ass party, right? There's kids, drinking underage, whatever we do, beer pong, music, nothing is like out of the ordinary at this party. And I'm not saying I don't remember much because I was like blacked out drunk, that's not the case at all. I had a couple drinks, but I was like totally sane-minded, like maybe had like a couple beers or something at that point, because I remember the rest of the night really well. But nothing crazy happened at the party, it was just a party. Fun party. So it's like towards the end of the night and we are getting the sign to leave, right? It's, I don't know what time it is, probably 1 or 2 in the morning, whenever you leave a party. And I'm like ready to go home. And I live, mind you, a 5-minute drive from these apartments. So like, for me, super easy to get back to my house and just crash. And I usually just invite my friends back to like sleep here so they don't have to drive drunk or whatever. Back then, by the way, Uber did not exist. That is crazy. I'm telling you guys right now, for all the youngins that are watching out there, we didn't have Uber, we didn't have Lyft, we had taxis. You would literally have to dial a number and call and be like, I'm over here, please come pick me up. Okay, no app for that. Taxis, and we had buses. We could walk or we could get in a car with someone who had been drinking, which is a terrible idea. But luckily I lived 5 minutes away, so I wasn't too worried about how I was gonna get home that night. So we're leaving. It still blows my mind that there was no Uber. Like what? Anyways, we're leaving, okay? So we are now in the lobby of this apartment because it's like a high-rise building. So we're in the lobby. I'm like taking pictures with my friends. Oh, by the way, all the lobby is just like covered with mirrors. So everyone's like taking selfies and stuff like that. I think I had a BlackBerry back then. My friend had like a nice camera back then too, like a Canon or a Nikon. Like she would carry it everywhere with her. I'm not going to use anyone's real name. Not that I think it's a problem to use anyone's real name in this story because we didn't do anything wrong, but I'm just going to keep it broad, just, you know, just in case anyone's like employers are watching and they don't want to know they were a part of this. So anyways, so we're standing there taking selfies in the mirror. And I am so occupied with my 2 friends, my 2 guy friends, my 2 best friends, right? They are, you know, they're rowdy. They were definitely more drunk than me, for sure. They were rowdy and they were like, you know, moving around and loud and whatever. And I'm just taking pictures and we're just having a good old time in the lobby before we end up finishing the night off. Now, we didn't expect what was to come. None of us. So the lobby was full of just me and my friends. Like, nobody else was down there. It was like, so like I said, I think there were, I don't know, maybe 8 people. That's average. Between 6 and 10, I'm gonna say there were 8 of us or something. So we're just down there alone. So I'm standing facing one of my friends, talking or whatever. And all of a sudden, I feel this like really forceful push. Like, almost like if you're in a car accident or you have to brake really fast, and you get that whiplash where your neck just goes forward and you're like shocked. That's what I felt behind me. So I didn't see what was happening. I felt that like to my back, right? And in my head, my first thought, I remember this so well. My immediate thought was like, oh my God, one of my drunk friends just like fell on me because we were the only people down there. So I like fall into kind of my other friend's like chest area because I'm like being pushed. And I'm about to turn around to see which one of my drunk asshole friends accidentally bumped into me with the speed of light. I turn around, and before I could fully even turn my head around to see what was happening behind me, this is all happening in like 2 seconds. I'm turning my head. It's like slow motion for me in my head. I feel 1, 2, 3, like over and over. I think I counted 4 at that time in my head. It was hard to even like know what was happening, but I just remember it being repeated, you know, right here. And at that moment, I'm already like, that's not my friend doing that. I can't even see because I just see an arm and I'm trying to turn. And it all happened so fast that I didn't even have time to react. Like, I've never been in a fight. I don't know, maybe if I had been a fighter in life or in sport, maybe I would have grabbed her and turned her and whatever. But I was like, I was frozen. Like, I didn't know what to do. And I finally turn around when she's like done punching me, and I see a girl I have never in my life seen before. And she is wasted. I could just tell by her eyes are googling around her skull and whatever. She's wasted, and she's covered in blood. And it's not my blood because her punching me here, it hurt, but it wasn't like, I wasn't bleeding. At least not on the outside. I think I like bit my tongue a little bit, but I wasn't bleeding on the outside. And then like, I look at her and she just has blood. She looks like she's coming out of Carrie, the movie, and like, I literally am like, am I in a dream right now? And so as this is happening and I turn around and I see who this person is, finally, like after she's done punching me, finally one of my guy friends notices what's happening, because this happened quick, right? Like within like a 5-second span, like boom, like push, punch, 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 punch. So when my friend sees what's happening, he grabs her by the arm, like just like from behind, right? He grabs her from behind and he holds her arms back because we're trying to figure out what's happening and why she's punching me to begin with. So he holds her arms. Luckily, like, he's strong enough to hold her back, and she's drunk, and so she can't really do much, right? And, well, I guess she can do much because she punched me, but anyways, so she's like flailing around while he's holding her, and she's screaming, and I'm standing like the distance between me and the camera right now. So what is that? 4 feet? So I'm standing there while she's being held back, and I don't even know what to say because I'm in shock. You know, like when you're in a nightmare and there's a scary monster and sometimes you get frozen in your nightmare and you can't move. Like, that's literally what happened. I didn't know I had no words, and I was like, what? So I didn't even make a sound, and she's screaming at me, telling me that I stole her boyfriend. She's like, you stole my man, you bitch, you stole my man. And I'm like, A, I've never seen you in my life. B, I was just at a party with my friends, literally didn't talk to much anyone else. I might have said hi to a couple random people, but I was just like in my friend circle. I didn't talk to any guys that night. Like, I had no idea what she's talking about. My first thought is like, oh my God, did I talk to someone the weekend before and she found out? Like, I literally had no idea because I had no recollection of what she could have been talking about. In my head, I'm just like, she's drunk, so she's like just making stuff up in her head. So she's screaming at me, and I don't even think I defended myself or said anything back because I realized how wasted she was. There was no point for me to try to like have a civil conversation, like, listen, this is what happened upstairs. There was no point. So I'm still in shock. My friend's still holding her back. My other guy friend, so it was like, I don't know, it was like half guys, half girls, right? So the girls are just like shocked, like trying to figure out what's going on. The guys are trying to hold her back. My other guy friend is like, let's just go outside. Let's go outside. Come on. Because I couldn't even breathe. So he takes me outside while my other guy friend is still holding her. And so while I'm outside, I don't know what ended up happening in there. Like, I don't know if she settled down. I don't know if she kept flailing her arms, but obviously, like, she didn't do much damage to anyone else except my friend who had the camera, the nice camera. She was like, she whacked it out of her hand. I don't know if she did it on purpose. I don't know if she was drunk and just like was moving around, but she knocked my friend's camera down that was like really expensive. Right? I don't know, $500, however much a camera, like a nice camera could be. Anywhere between $300 and $1,000, whatever it is. So she knocked it out of her hand and it broke. I'm pretty sure it broke. I remember that my friend was really upset. So she got the camera knocked down. I got my face knocked down. I don't think anything else happened to anyone. Oh no, I lie. I'm remembering, while I'm telling the story, I'm remembering one of my other guy friends who was in there, she like I don't even remember the order of how this happened, but she punched him. I don't know if I was already outside, like I literally don't remember, but he had a busted lip. And if he watched this, he will remember that. He had a busted lip and he was actually bleeding. And I remember like after when I went back inside, I saw that. So it was like me to the face, him to the lip, and my friend's camera. One girl doing all this damage, right? So I'm standing outside with my friend and he's trying to just calm me down. He's a very calm guy. He's just like, listen, I know that was crazy. Everything's gonna be fine. Like, everything's gonna be okay. Are you in pain? Are you hurt? I'm like, you know, it hurts, but like, I'm okay. Like, I'm not dying. So, I'm like getting stressed out just talking about this because I'm like reliving the terrifying moment. So the weird thing is, while I'm outside with my friend and he's calming me down and I don't really know what's going on inside anymore, within like 10 minutes or some really short span of time, the cops come, right? I can hear the sirens. I didn't call, he didn't call, and none of my friends that were inside, because I had talked to them later, nobody said that they called. I think we were probably going to call eventually, or maybe we weren't. Maybe we were just gonna file a police report the next day, or maybe we weren't gonna even do anything. But at that moment, we were all just too shocked to even like call, because I guess she had calmed down a little bit. But somebody called. It might have been a noise complaint from the party upstairs. So I was like, there's this crazy girl inside. She just started punching me. I don't know her. I didn't do anything. I'm okay, but like, she's inside and she's really crazy. Now that I think of it, someone probably called the cops on her because she was obviously bloody from a previous fight that night. Like I told you, she had blood on her when she was downstairs. So come to think of it, she probably just got in a fight 5 minutes before that and somebody called the cops on her. Now I'm like realizing this now, right? So the cops go inside. One cop stays outside with me, one cop goes inside. And then they assess the situation, figure it out, and then they take her out in handcuffs. And so they take her and they put her in the car or whatever, and then the cop comes up to me and he was like, I need you to fill out a statement. They took me into like the laundry room because it was like kind of quiet and away from everybody, and I'm exhausted and I just want to go home, and I'm writing down what happened, and they were like, do you want to press charges? If you do, then you have to fill out all this stuff. And I mean, I never experienced anything like that before, and I didn't know what the right thing to do was, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, like I do, because she can't go around doing this to people, whether she meant to hit me or not. Like, she was obviously going after someone who she thought stole her boyfriend, so she needs to go to jail, or like something needs to happen so that she wakes up and realizes that that's not how you live your life. You don't go around punching people. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I do want to press charges. Like, that's happening. At this point, it's almost 4 in the morning by the time everything's done, and I remember calling my mom because she was obviously worried, like, why wasn't I home yet? I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, I don't want you to worry. Like, calm down before I even tell you, but I got punched in the face. I'm fine. Everything's okay, but the cops are here and they are just assessing the situation, and I'll be home in half an hour. And I'm shocked because I distinctly remember my mom is very overprotective normally. Right? She reminds me to take a jacket outside when it's cold, and she tells me to call her 3 times a day. So I was shocked because I remember this very well. She just goes, oh, you're okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Okay, I'll see you later, bye. And she goes to sleep. And I'm expecting my mom to be like, oh my God, what happened? I'm coming down there right now. Do you need me to call the ambulance? Like, maybe she was it was like the middle of the night and she didn't really process what I had just said. She was like, all right, good night, I'll see you later, night. And I was like, hello? Okay. It was so weird. So anyways, I get home and I barely slept that night because I was so scared about just everything. The next morning, I wake up and obviously the police, they have all my paperwork and my information. I get a phone call the next day and they're like, hey, so regarding the incident from yesterday, since you said you wanted to press charges, we're gonna send a detective to your house to get further information on what happened. They literally sent a detective to my house. Like, I felt like I was on CSI, San Francisco edition, college edition, like Girls Gone Wild on CSI. And they sent a detective here, and I'm like, is this happening? And he comes and he sits down in my living room. It's so weird, right? I'm sitting there next to the detective, and my mom's like, do you guys want any tea? And it's like, oh, we're not here for fun. We are dealing with some weird stuff. He like has the girl that punched me, he has her like paperwork or her folder or whatever, and her mugshot and everything, and he like opens it up and he was like, okay, is this the girl? Like, this is her face and it's her mugshot. I'm like, that's definitely her. And I don't even know if this is, I guess this is allowed. I doubt he would do anything illegal. I don't know too much about the law or police, but he like showed me her full name and everything. I guess it is allowed. I mean, she punched me and I'm pressing charges. I'm probably allowed to know her name. So he shows me her full name, and you will never believe, to this day, this is 10 years later, right? Or whatever. I remember her first and last name, and I have not looked at any paperwork from her. I have not obviously talked to this girl. I haven't seen her name written out since that day that he showed me, okay? And that I was like 19 at the time, and I'm about to be 29, and I remember her first and her last name down to the T. And it's not even like a Anna Smith, like an easy one. It's not like it's like a complicated name that her last name I've never heard, and I remember it. And God, I just want to say it and put her on blast. But you know what? She might be married with kids, and she might be a doctor now, and she might have learned her lesson, so I'm not even gonna put her on blast, but I literally know her name. So he tells me that they took her to jail or whatever, at least overnight. I think she was in jail for like 2 or 3 days, like that was her punishment, which is fine. I mean, she didn't kill anyone, but she had given her statement to the cops about what her side of the story was, and the detective told me what she said. Apparently her version is that she thought I was someone else because I had the same haircut from the back, and she thought I was this other girl from the party. Maybe that's the girl that she previously was attacking with why she was bloody. I don't know that part, but maybe she thought I was her because she was drunk. And so that girl probably did steal her boyfriend, whatever, I don't know. So then she punched me. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, she got the wrong person, but she did mean to hurt someone, right? If it wasn't me, it was gonna be the other girl. So they kept her in jail for a couple days or what, I don't know, maybe she got bailed out. I don't know what ended up happening with her, obviously, but that is the extent of all that I know. So that's the story of how I got punched. The crazy thing is, the cops told me that if I had any sort of pain, that I could, go to the hospital, go to the doctors, and like it would get covered and everything like that. But I woke up the next day and it was pink, like my skin was a little bit red and it was a little sore, but it didn't really seem that bad. It just felt like, yeah, it felt like I got, you know, punched, but it wasn't so bad that I felt like I needed to go to the doctor or anything. And I regret it now because I don't know if this is related at all to the incident, but this left jaw where I got punched has been hurting me for years now, on and off though. Like the last like half a year it's been really, really bad. But before that, like it was fine for a little bit and then it would hurt. So it's on and off. Like I have weird like my tendons or my muscles in my jaw or something's going on here, like kind of arthritis-y, TMJ, like something's happening where it like gets inflamed and it hurts to chew, and then it kind of stops hurting on its own after a while. And I mean, it might totally not be related to that because it was so long ago, but it might be related to that because, you know, you get punched and then maybe something shifts and then over time it gets worse. I'm okay. Since then, knock on wood, I have not gotten punched or kicked or hit. I have not been in a fight and I don't plan on it. But that was how I got punched in the face. So I know you guys were curious about that because I don't seem like much of a badass, and so there you go. I'm not. So that's it for story time. Leave all your comments, questions below. If you have any questions about what happened, I will answer them, or other videos you want me to do. I'm planning on doing one with my sister where we blindfold each other and then eat weird food and see if we could guess what it is. And I want to do another one where I do my makeup and my dad does my voiceover because he already did my makeup once and it was hilarious. And yeah, anything else behind the scenes somewhere, I don't know, whatever. Just write me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you hated the story. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sticking with me through me saying like a trillion times because I know I have a problem. And I'll see you guys next time.